Greetings, beloved ones. My name is Lyvonne Proverbs. I am a body and sex positive light and shadow worker. I am a preacher, a poet, an educator, a transformational speaker, a spiritual life coach, a poet, a panelist. I do all the things, okay? That's just how my creator and my ancestors do. But I'm delighted to share a reflection with you this weekend. This is a magnanimous occasion. We are celebrating the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And surely we honor his work and his life, but we also want to create space for those who are named and unnamed, those known and unknown, who certainly played instrumental roles in movement making and justice seeking and all of the amazing work that Dr. King did while he was with us in the earthly realm. So today's reflection is entitled, Does Your Dream Have Legs? Does your dream have legs? You know, in this year of 2020, which I got from my Nigerian South African sister, Lyvonne, you're welcome to use it as well. Just cite her. Hashtag cite Black women. In this year, 2020, it's all about the social media influencer, right? We've got nano, micro, mid, macro, mega. I want to be a mega influencer, so I need at least 1 million followers on Instagram. So follow me if you're not following me already, and tell all your friends and cousins and aunties and them as well. But the key is to not want to have followers for the sake of having followers. What's the point of having 1 million followers if you have nowhere to lead them? Right? And so that's one thing out of many that I admire about Dr. King, is that he had vision and he had, as we all know, a dream. Now, when I was a kid, I would always see clips of the I Have a Dream speech. Now, you're probably in a very similar situation. You remember it. He's behind the podium. It's black and white. But there are so many beautiful nuggets that go on behind that moment that we don't even know about. The first golden nugget is that King actually did a very eerily similar speech when he was 15 years old for a speech contest in Dublin, Georgia. So this dream was not a dream that he had the night before, right? He had been having this dream for a long time. In fact, I often look at pictures of a young Dr. King and wonder, Martin, did you know? Did you know at 6, 7, 8 years old that your life, your work was literally going to change the trajectory of the course of history? Did you know, Martin? Right? The second golden nugget is something that my womanist scholar preacher friends have been lifting up for the past few days, is that you can tell during the I Have a Dream speech where Martin takes a beat. Look, I'm on a first name basis with the brother. Dr. King takes a moment and you see him retreat from using his manuscript and start to speak from his heart and let the Spirit lead him. That moment we have thanks to the one and only Mahalia Jackson, who was a trusted confidant and contemporary of Dr. King. And she's in the back saying, tell him about the dream, Martin. Tell him about the dream. Why? Because he had shared that dream with those closest to him. Sometimes you have to share your dreams with your inner circle, and sometimes they have to remind you about the very dream that you told them about originally. That's why it's important to keep yourself surrounded with people who, I like to say, when you're with them, your soul can slouch, right? You don't have to pretend or put on a facade or mask, or you can just be. Those are beautiful relationships, and you want to cling to those and nurture those. And as you nurture those relationships, as you nurture your spirit, your mind, your body, your soul, you can start to give more energy and vigor to your dream. Now, there are some people who would say there is no right or wrong way to dream. They are incorrect. There is absolutely a right way to dream. Your dream should have 3 different components. King was a good Baptist preacher. I'm a good Baptist preacher. We're going to have 3 points right here. First thing you should do is find meaning, right? King was a Baptist minister. I'm sure his faith motivated him to do a lot of the work. He was the son of a preacher man, so he would hear about justice and sacred texts probably around the dinner table, right? If you are not a person of faith, because every path is valid, right? What are your ethics, your morals, your values? How is your belief system, whatever that may be, feeding into your dream? How do you find meaning with and beyond your dream? Secondly, your dream should serve humanity. And by humanity, I mean creatures, creation, those who are alive. I'm talking about Black people, Black women, people of color. I'm talking about queer folks, trans folks. I'm talking about differently abled folks, poor folks. I'm talking about the most marginalized and vulnerable among us. If your dream only serves people who look like you, sound like you, talk like you, act like you, think like you need a new dream, okay? Your dream should serve humanity. And finally, your dream should give life. Right? Beyonce says, I give you life. Like, you should know that your dream is giving you life, and not just to other people, right? Because if you find meaning and you serve humanity, you will bless others. But your dream should also give you life. If you are being pressured into an activity that is draining you, that you have inherited, whether it's biological, spiritual, or otherwise, if you find yourself trapped in a job or a school or a situation that you just do not enjoy, you need a new dream, because your dream should also give you life. Because as we walk in our gifts and our talents, we expand love, we expand consciousness, we expand caring and all of the beautiful elements of humanity that would completely overrun the evil, harmful, alarming nature of our country right now. Our country is in shambles. We have children being snatched from their parents, sleeping in literal cages. We have young Black and brown girls being snatched off the street and sold into sex trafficking. Y'all, if your dream does not serve anyone outside of your address, you need a new dream. And it's time for us to have dreams that are disruptive, because as much as we like to talk about Dr. King being this amazing leader, he also had his moments of shortcoming, right? He liked to smoke. He loved the ladies, right? I understand that he struggled with, this is a trigger warning for suicide ideation, right? There were some shadowy parts to the life and legacy of Dr. King. We have to reckon with the shadowy parts of ourselves, the parts of you that buy into white supremacy, the parts of you that buy into sexism, the parts of you that buy into anti-Blackness, right? The parts of you that want to do a little tap dance and a little two-step with diversity. Diversity, the term diversity has lost its currency, okay? Dr. King was preaching about equality and racial justice, yes, but he was not murdered until he started talking about economic equity. When he was in Memphis, there to help support workers' rights, that's when they murdered him. They was like, oh, wait a minute, he's talking about dollars now. He's talking about mashing up a capitalist system now, okay? I feel a little Queens coming through right about now. Because at the end of the day, equality is cute, but equity is revolutionary. I saw my brother, Reverend Earl Fisher, he wrote an article. He said, service is cosmetic, but equity is structural, right? So this should not be a day of service. It should not be one day out of the 366 days, because it's a leap year, of 2020 where you just do community service. Community service is charity. We ought to be doing the work of equity so that we can disrupt a system that allows the most marginalized and vulnerable among us to be continually institutionally repressed and oppressed, disenfranchised and silenced. One of my pet peeve sayings is you need to be a voice for the voiceless. There's no such thing unless you are physically rendered mute as a voiceless person. There are silenced people, there are disenfranchised people, there are repressed and suppressed people. So it's just time to pass the mic. And what better time to pass the mic than during this weekend we were celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. King, who, quiet as is kept, was a disruptor. Okay? We like to talk about him as nonviolent and peaceful and turning the other cheek. No, he was still a threat to the system. So I invite you, be a threat to a system that continually oppresses poor people, Black people, queer people, trans people, Black women. Be a threat to that system. There's a Zimbabwean proverb that says, if you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. Your dreams can dance, but not before they walk. Be blessed.